Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video, let me show you a Square invoice tutorial. So this is actually quite simple. The first thing that we need to do is, of course, for us to create invoices in Square or Square invoices, what we need to do is to create an account. So if we go ahead and click on get started right here, this will go ahead and put you into the sign up page. If you already have an account, just go ahead and log in. But if you haven't, just go right on ahead and sign up. Now, once that you have signed up, you'll be asked what the business name is. So go ahead and create your own. And then you have to go ahead and talk about what kind of business it would be. Now, once that you're happy, we're just going to go ahead and click on next. This literally just creates a Square account for us to use. And then for us to go ahead and create our invoices. Now, feel free to go ahead and play around with this. But in this tutorial, we're going to go straight ahead into creating a Square invoice for us. So we're going to go into orders and payments right here on the left hand side. Now, if we click on this, we should be able to see invoices as one of the options. So go right on ahead and click on this. And then once that we are over here, we should be able to see the invoices section right here. So let's go ahead and click on this. Now we can go ahead and create our invoice right here. So go ahead and click on this. This will open up a new section for us where we can go ahead and add in all of the details that we want for our invoice. So the first thing is, of course, we're going to want to add our customer right here. So since this is a new account, we will be creating our new customer. Of course, what we would need for the customer itself, all of these information, such as your name, last name, email address. There are some that are optional here, but most of these have to be added in. So say for example, if I add in the first name and the last name right here, and then let's go ahead and add in the email address of your customer, and then we can go ahead and add in the number as well, but this is optional, so we can go ahead and leave it. If it is a company, then go ahead and add in their company name and of course their VAT number as well, in accordance with regulatory compliance. Now you need to go ahead and add in the billing address as well. And then once that we're happy with this, we can just go ahead and click on save. Now this will be added as one of our new customers. So if we want to create an invoice for that specific customer, we should be able to add them in here. Now let's go ahead and add the invoice title right here. So say for example, we have one for, I don't know, hairdresser appointment or session. And then we can go ahead and add in the service date as well as to when we have done so. Say for example, we did it last week. And then we can go ahead and add in the invoice ID. I highly recommend just keeping it to 1 right now for those who are quite new to invoices. And then you will see as you add more invoices, it will accumulate and so on. If you want to go ahead and add in a message for the client itself in the invoice, you can go ahead and do so. So say something like, thank you for choosing us with our service or something like that. And then this is where we need to go ahead and add in our items. So this would be the name of the invoice itself, and then we can go ahead and add in an item. So say for example, we have one such as a hair trim, which could be either a one-time item or it could be a new library item if you want. But let's just say it is a one-time item right here. You can go ahead and add that. And then we can go ahead in terms of adding the quantity. So is it just one person or multiple persons? And then we can go ahead and add in the price as well. So say for example, that haircut costed you $15.99 right there. It should be able to tally right here. Or if you have items with you that you have added into your products themselves, you can just go ahead and scan the barcode. So this assumes that of course you have all of your items or inventories all set up, but this is us going through the tutorial as if we're creating a new invoice with new items as well. If you want to go ahead and add another item, you can go ahead and do so. Say for example, we have a session of blow dry or something. and then that costed an additional £12. You can see that the total will add up right here on the right hand side. There is the tax in here as well, and as well as the subtotal. So this is the total amount that you have. If there is zero tax, of course the total amount would be there. If you want to go ahead and add a discount into this, you can go ahead and do so as well. So say for example, they have a referral code that they have, and we can go ahead and add our custom discount, or if we have the discounts in the items sections of the dashboard, we can go ahead and do so. But again, our lineup here is quite empty, so I'm just going to go ahead and create a custom discount in here. So say for example, we have one which is a referral or a first time client or something like that. Then we can go ahead and choose the amount of discount that they have. So say for example, they get 10% off or something, you can go ahead and do so. You can change this to either amount as well. So it's either, it's like £10 off or £12 off. But if you want it as a percentage, say 10% off, then you can go ahead and do so. If this is, something that you want to use in the future, you can add this for future transactions by clicking on this icon right here and then adding it right there. Now it should automatically add in the discount itself. So as you can see here, it says 10% off on all items right here. So it has calculated the total amount right here, which was 27, I think 27.99, and then it has taken off 10% of it right there. Now you can also go ahead and add a payment schedule right here at the bottom, where you can request a deposit, or if you want to split the balance into milestones. Say for example, if you want to get it paid in equal amounts, you can go ahead and do so as well. And then you can go ahead and request the deposit in terms of percentages. So say for example, if you want 50% today in terms of deposit, and then 50% in the next 30 days, or whatever you want to add in, you can go ahead and do so. There are some payment reminders right here. It is defaulted at 4 reminders if they haven't already, or you can go ahead and set specific dates as to when they will be. So at the moment, as you can see here, it is scheduled on the 11th of September, which was a week ago, and then the next upcoming one is today, and then there's one tomorrow, and then there's one in 2 days time. So you can go ahead and optimize these or change this to however you would want. And then once that you're happy, you can go ahead and click on save right here. So as you can see here, the client is being asked to pay $12.60 at the start, and then $12.59 in the next 30 days. If you want to add some additional stuff in here, you can go ahead and do so. So say for example, there are attachments that you want to add, such as giving them further discounts or giving them further information as part of the invoice, you can go ahead and do so. If you want some custom fields, you can also add these in, but this will require you to have the Plus subscription. And if you have any Square contracts in here, you can go ahead and do so as well. Now on the right side of the Square invoices, these are a few settings that you can go ahead and do, that once that you have sent it, or once that you click on send, it's scheduled. As you can see, it will be sent immediately. If you want to go ahead and send the invoice at a specific time, say for example it'll be next Monday, you can go ahead and do that as well. In terms of payment methods, there are a few ones right here. So you can use either credit or debit card. There is a 2.5% transaction right here, or you can even use a gift card if they have any. There are other payment methods as well on file, where if you have the card on file or the card of the client themselves, you can just go ahead and do that, and then immediately process the invoice payments right there. You can add in some additional stuff as well, such as customer actions. So if you want the client to be able to send tips, they can go ahead and do so. If they want to save payment methods, i.e. if they are going to be a recurring client, then they can go ahead and you can go ahead and set this so that they don't need to add in card details the next time as well. Now, if you want to go ahead and preview the invoice, there is this preview button right here, where, as you can see, this is what the invoice would look like. If you want to update the logo and brand color, business information, it'll be all here in the account and settings section, where we can go ahead and adjust a few things in here as well. So we can go ahead and add things like we can add branding into it, which will basically change the logo right here. If you want anything that is printed into it, you can go ahead and change that as well. And there are a few more options here, like showing item descriptions, total savings when the discount is applied. Right there, as you can see, it's like three pounds. And also, if you want to add in the the discount itself that has been saved in there, you can go ahead and do so as well. And if you want to add in the location of the business, you can go ahead and do so, and a few more things in here, like your phone, your your social media stuff, and your VAT number as well. Now, there might be a few questions in terms of the invoices side. If you take a look at the invoices that we have created earlier on, we have section here where it says tax, and as you can see, it is currently at 0. What you would need to do to go ahead and make changes to that is to go into your settings right here, and then we're going to go into account and settings. Now you should be able to see payments right here, and then there will be this section where it says VAT. Now the VAT is depending of course your country. The different taxes will be different. So if you go ahead and click on set up taxes, you can go ahead and add all of these into it. So there are items in here where we have one for tax right here, and then the amount of tax rate, say it's like 20% or something, and then you can go ahead and apply the tax to all current and taxable items at locations right there, so that when we go ahead and say for example we have let's just say there's a sales tax right here of say 20% that we want to go ahead and add, then we can go ahead and click on save right here. As you can see, we have sales tax of 20%, and if we go back into our invoices right here, and if we take a look at the current invoice that we have, we're gonna go ahead and edit this. Now if we would add our items again right here, say it's 20 pounds, and then this one would be let's just change it to like 16 or something. Now as you can see, we have this VAT included in here, which is the value added tax that we have set up earlier on in terms of our setup, so that we can go ahead and add this in as part of the price. And there you go. I hope you have found this video helpful. See you guys next time.